What's up, gang? Just getting things situated over here. Got my water. Coffee's coming. Happy Saturday. I am, yeah, we got a couple videos to watch. Nothing too crazy. I've heard Greyson Fletcher's part is smelly but good. I don't know if you've been watching the Thrasher stuff, but they've been like hyping up, a comeback for him, which, a comeback's always good. Best comeback ever was Guy Mariano, though. Can't top that. Fully flared part was the best. Still so good. The only comeback I think I want to see now is probably um, Mark Johnson. I mean, that's an easy one, right? If you've watched my channel at all or know me as a person, even if you don't skate, you've heard me say Mark Johnson a million times. Thank you. Excuse me. New things going on with me. Nothing much. I beat Silk Song a little bit ago. It's a video game. I've been playing Dragon Quest and a little bit of Arc Raiders, cleaning up the house, just regular life. But anyways, I got my pack of stickers here because I gotta put some on the new water bottle. So here we go. We got the coffee. Here we go. Let's see what's first. I always like to warm up with a little bit of a classic. I like to keep it a little mellow. The classic. So we're gonna just start off the bat with we got virtual reality. This came out. Oh man, when did virtual reality come out? Let's take a look. Let me see here. I want to say 92. 92, 93. Dang. So this came out, I think, the year before, like maybe a little bit generous of a year before I actually started like getting really into skating because it was about 1994 that I like completely like started getting really into skating because of some neighbors and I was really into rollerblading as well. Every now and again, I have dreams about rollerblading, like doing sick like Mitsu grinds and royales and stuff. But I remember at like 13, 12, maybe it was 12, one of my neighbors who was a rollerblader was like, you got to choose. You can't do one or the other, or you can only do one or the other. We're like mortal enemies. And I chose skateboarding, of course, because I don't know, maybe it hurt more. It felt like I was getting hurt more in skateboarding, so it merited a more realistic, I don't know, endeavor for my mind, like what I should be doing. But anyways, Plan B virtual reality, 1993. Um, I saw this probably in 1995 when I was starting to go backwards in time. Because 95, yeah, about 11 or 12, started to like pick up videos from my neighbors and that skated that were older. They were about 15. And they had a mini ramp. And I remember I was always, oh, Sal Barbier's in this. I totally forget this whole video. Um, I started to like get into skating, but I didn't know there was like tricks and stuff really until I was about like maybe 12 or 13, late 12, maybe early 13, because um, I just didn't get it. I was so like out of touch with reality. I was just goofing. But Plan B virtual reality, I do remember watching it at my buddy's house. Let's fast forward through the intro. This is just the warm up video, so we're just gonna catch the parts here. Dang, the intro is like 5 minutes long, isn't it? Is this all intro? Well, this is an ad. This is a I need to fix for the future. I think that's it. All right. I wonder whose part is first. We got some old man squawking. I don't know why I say old. He's probably 40. Who is this? Colin McKay? This looks like Colin McKay to me. I don't know what Colin's up to nowadays. Definitely Colin McKay. Playing a little Mortal Kombat. in the arcade. The arcades in '93 were pretty sick. I do remember that. This is a big time spot in Canada. I want to say it's in Vancouver. I'm not really too sure though, but in the early '90s, all the Canadian guys were skating that. That fakie heel flip no side was sick. Great frontside flip. He's got the superstars on, shell toes, little switch blunt. Colin was really good at street skating. I was always like kind of bummed that he switched fully over to vert. I mean, he was great at vert as well, but like I kind of really, oh, I really liked watching him skate street. I don't know what he's up to now. I know he's good buds with Danny Way and all those guys. Dang, inward heel. That was a nice one too. You know, an inward heel that clean in '93 is pretty crazy. That was a big jump. It's the thing about these like early videos, like Plan B, you know, the early, say, Goldfish, Virtual Reality, Time Code by Alien. There's like all these older videos. People felt like a little bit more like street kids, you know. It kind of like it had a. I want to say it felt cooler than it does now. Skateboarding now has fallen into that trap of like feeling very like manufactured, very like sold you a bill of goods almost, you know, especially with like Nike and Adidas and everybody involved so heavily. I think they're just gonna abandon us once it dies. Switch flip Indy was sick. Little backside air for slow mo on backside heel. Yeah, you know he's good at vert. I just liked him on street. Switch flip Indy. That was pretty sick. The back tail shove. That's probably like my favorite vert trick is a back tail shove. Just because you like swoop the whole ramp. I think it looks sick. That kickflip no slide was rad. Oh, switch heel. Little cab. Yeah. This was the thing about vert, like coming into the like coming out of the early '90s into the mid '90s when it was starting to pick up again, and the X Games were starting to show up, and Tony was starting to do his thing, and Taz Papas and Andy McDonald. Oh, this is a really famous spot. I actually don't know where this is, but it's in all the older videos. It's probably in Canada. That would be my guess. Switch heel. This spot I would skate today if I could. If I had to choose a spot so far in this whole video that I could go skating, it would be this one. This one just looks, it's got nice long ledges. It doesn't look too, like, the ledges don't look too long. It looks like it's got a nice slope to it. So you're not like, you can kind of like just keep coasting. That, see, Colin's sick because everything looks like at this point, a lot of people looked really sketchy. And Colin was pretty clean with his tricks. Got a good switch heel, then a good switch flip. Yeah, that was pretty sick. Got switch nose, kick flip out. Oh, with the fakie heel. Anyone here can fakie heel? I can do it, but I'm not too happy to try. That big switch pop shove it. This part is long. Switch backside flip. We're gonna have to do something about these ads, gang. I don't know who this is. I probably should know. I watched this video a good amount when I was a kid. Probably had an idea of who's coming up and who's not. That was going to be my guess, Tony Ferguson, but I wasn't too sure. Of girl alum Tony Ferguson. Even though that switch flip was totally rocketed, it still looked so sick. Let's go back and check that out again. This switch flip, look at that. It's like this, but it's still it looks so rad because it's Tony Ferguson. I don't know what he's up to now. Santa Monica, fakie flip manual. That spot is pretty famous. I don't know what Tony Ferguson's up to nowadays. Jaquan. Man, I love these early 90s spots. That was the thing about like a lot of skate spots in the 90s and early 2000s was a lot of people went to the exact same spot, so you got to see them over and over and over. So they became like characters in themselves, you know? Like not so much like nowadays it's like people are, board sliding someone's like front yard. So it's not like a spot really. It's just kind of like someone's front yard. Which I have mixed feelings about. I think as a skateboarder, I don't think I'd care if someone skated in my front yard, like a handrail or something. But I could see like, if my grandpa was like around and someone like came and started board sliding his handrail, he'd be bummed. But oh, the old World Park, it's pretty sick. Man, Tony's kind of killing it. I mean, maybe I got my dates wrong. Maybe like '93 was the beginning of like things are getting cleaned up because it's kind of looking like a lot of these guys have cleaned up their spots or their tricks. Nollie backside flip. Wow, kickflip nose slide. That was sick. I used to rock these like button ups like this so hard because of Rick Howard. Rick Howard used to rock those button ups like super hard. Like the plaid, like earth tony stuff with your baggy jeans. This spot always looked really, really fun to me. I don't know what I would do there, but I always thought it looked really fun. I'm not really interested in like this kind of chaos. This is like what I was talking about with like street kids though. These kids were actually like tough kids. They didn't like have permission to be places. I think nowadays it feels like, and maybe because I'm older, right? So like when I go to a skate spot, someone sees like a 40-year-old man there, they're not like gonna hassle me about it versus like a kid. Let's see here. Sal's doing his thing. It's like street contest footage. Oh, Sean Sheffy. Yeah, see, I should have remembered who was in this because I was doing this as a warm up, but now it's like we're watching the whole video at this point. This is a really famous like shot. Someone took a photo of it. Sean Sheffy ollieing over his kid. Sean's kind of back. He's on Plan B. Kind of got legend status. Doing cool stuff. He's still fun to watch skate. He always had that like extra power. Just a kid. Sean was kind of wiling out. Kind of like intense stuff. Who reminds me? Who skates like this now is Zach Allen. Like very like like his hands are kind of arms are all over the place, and he's just like pushing, pushing. And maybe that's why I like Zach Allen because I've seen like a lot of people get like kind of weirded out like because they think he's not like shouldn't be pro or something. I've seen that a few times, but like I like it. I like this like almost like forceful like breaking through regardless of what it looks like, regardless of how it's like how you think it might work out. Like he did that switch crooks and he fell into a nose slide, but it like they kept it. Switch prop shove it's I forgot about that. We used to do that back in the 90s. You would just be like shove it, shove it, shove it, shove it, and then you like film it. For how high he can pop, he's really not popping a lot of these things very high, which is surprising. Like that nollie backside flip, he kind of like floated around. That switch 360 flip is huge though. That's all he's got, huh? Man, how did I forget Rodney was in this? I don't know how we're gonna do this. Let's watch Rodney, and then we'll come back to this video at the end if we haven't had enough. Rodney, at this point, I don't know, man. Rodney's always been so good. I mean, what can you say about the guy who, like, basically is the architect, right? Fakey double flip. Oh, this is where he does his Casper slide. That's right. Nollie flip nose slide, 360 flip nose slide on like the no ledge. I think the next time I go out skating, I'm going to learn frontside flips. I can only do Muska frontside flips. I don't know if you know what those are, but Muska frontside flips are where they go straight up through your legs. It's the only way I can do them. Man, Rodney's killing it with the dark slides right now, but I guess that's not surprising. I guess I felt like when I saw Rodney versus Daewon, he did the dark slides in those, that those were like the first that had ever been done. And I forgotten virtual reality does it. What was that? I was like a nollie. Man, was it nollie backside 360 underflip? I don't think people talk about this part enough. This is pretty ridiculous. Backside 180 fakie manual half cab flip. Oh, I was just doing that on my fingerboard this morning. That must be where it's from. You know, I so badly want to go back to wearing cargo pants because I love cargo pants, but I have nothing to put in them. So I'm not wearing them. This is the famous one. This is the Casper slide. But he double flips into it. That's even crazier. I don't think people could do this now. I really don't think someone could do this. Like it's kind of weird we haven't seen anyone else do them because it's not a bad looking trick by any means. Like it's just kind of crazy. Someone's got to be able to do that, right? I mean, it's not going to be me. I think if you want to learn those, you got to get free boards because you're going to chew your tail apart. Little kickflip, underflip. Weirdly, I can kind of do those. These like anything with like a back foot, like late flip up. There was that trick I was talking about. Nollie backside 360 front foot underflip. That was a triple heel. Triple heel's crazy. And there's kind of like he leans the board over and flicks it back up. Look how cool these spots are though on footage. Like that liquor store, it's like glowing in the background. That one's sick. That was a really cool half cab flip underflip. I can't believe I forgot that Rodney is in this. I guess you forget things as you get older. I love you, Mom. All right, let's pause it there. We all know what we're here for. Smelly. I watched his Thrasher thing. It was cool. I do like Greyson Fletcher. I think that he kind of kills it. You know, he's like really good. But he's not like he's not my like the end all be all. But you know, I'm always a big fan of people like figuring it out, and it sounds like he's figured it out. So let's check out his part. Now I'm expecting it to be crazy because I heard like I saw people on Instagram be like, "Oh my god," like it's insane, it's totally crazy. So I don't know, we'll see. I imagine almost the entire thing's gonna be transition. Like always, no audio. So this is where I had a hard time with Grayson Fletcher. I think the older I get, the more the like punching your board and punching yourself in the head just feels like an exercise in. Oh, I thought it was gonna be all transition. He just did a huge backside 50-50. Yeah. I'm not too much of like a fan of like the punching yourself, punching your board stuff. Um, Skateboarding really, it's just skateboarding. We got more skateboarding down hills. Gap to tail side was sick. That was rad. He does. I will give him that he has probably, aside from Cardiel, the best like transition ollie on like on a hip like that. He can float that thing like nobody else. I mean, Cardiel, I would say, is the best just because he's the best, but Greyson Fletcher can float that ollie I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. Ooh, blunt kind of transfer across that elbow. That was rad. Little backside wall ride on the pillar, back in, frontside air, over the key. Is that a key? No, it's not a key. Over this little right angle thing. Hey, we just watched a part from here. We watched Day One Song last week skating that spot. San Pedro. You know, when I watch things like this, I do wish I could skate transition. We got 50-50. So 50-50. Don't know if slow-mo was the way to go. Barefoot skating, not my favorite. I don't really understand it. Jamie did it. Even when I was a kid, I was like, that just looks painful. I guess if you're coming back from surfing, because like that footage was in Hawaii. I imagine that this looks. I don't know where this would be. Sick days on Birdhouse. I mean, it makes sense. I've never seen a birdhouse board in the wild except on somebody's wall. I'm always tempted to get it. I was really tempted to get a Tony Hawk birdhouse to put on the wall until like an ad popped up and it was like him like endorsing a vitamin for people older than 40. And I thought, I don't know anymore. That was sick. See, that's what I'm talking about. He can pop these ollies. Ooh, oh my God. That was kind of crazy. He kind of has like a knee like Chad Barty. I don't know if anyone knows Chad Barty anymore, but like he kind of like bows his knees out. That's how Chad Barty used to do his tricks. Got some Jake footage. Nice kickflip. You know, Greyson, he's good. He has a good redemption arc. I'm happy, watching his like thrash thrasher thing. Like I said, I'm happy for anyone who figures it out. Um, but he just looks kind of smelly. And that's okay. Probably means he's ripping. That sick. I've always liked frontside ollies over the stairs and pools. I don't know if anyone here's ever skated a pool. It doesn't seem as prolific as it was when we were kids. Like in my like city I grew up in, we had a couple pools we could go to. The shallow end stuff, even though the big end was like it's all good. I've gotten a rock and roll. I've little frontside scratches here or there, but like the shallow end really was like a hassle because the transition's so tight. It's like almost to vert. So when you see those guys pump the shallow end, that's always a little bit more impressive to me than like, maybe a frontside air on the big side. This is a pretty sick little run. If you've been to this park, you know that this is kind of crazy. Another big rail. That was a big backside 50-50. Looked like it might have been at like a Woodward or something. I like how he floats his front foot out on those kick flips. He sticks his front foot like way out there. Kind of like tucks it like to the catch. Pretty cool. See that? See how he does it? Way out there. Really cool. It's a really cool kick flip. Nice. It was good. I'm not a big transition guy, so a lot of it is a bit lost on me. It's cool. Yeah, Grayson. He's kind of having a little bit of a renaissance, so that's pretty cool. Like I said, I'm always happy for people to figure it out. All right, Cookie. We got Cookie at Turdside on Chris Colburn's channel. Cookie is sick. I actually met him in Long Beach when I was living there. Um, and when I say met him, it's like, what's up? We were at the same place one time. Cool dude. Always seemed really friendly. And he is one of my favorites, and he rips. Really just all around great skater. So let's check it out. I guess he's got his own channel now, and that's like pretty cool. I keep talking about these things, and I'm not even on the right page. All right, Cookie at Turdside. Turdside's a DIY. Um, but yeah, Cookie's sick. Glad he's off element. I don't know where he's at now. He's just good. What is that, Milton Martinez? Actually, I think it is. I was making fun of it because he looks. I was like, oh, this guy fits the Milton look, but actually might actually be Milton Martinez. Let's go full screen. There we go. Got a backside nose grind over the little gap. Sick. If anyone ever wonders why they put the hand there, it's so that when you're cutting the footage, you know, like where the good clip is, right? So if you were like filming, you'd be filming like just all the time instead of like having to cycle through all the footage. The hand is kind of like a marker. You mark it like that's something you want to keep. That looked cool. Backside nose grind, back end fakie looked really cool. Film the beer. None of us have ever seen a Miller Lite. My white whale. Switch Vero heel. I'm chasing the Vero heels. Got to get one. It's killing me. So hand plant would have been sick. If anyone deserves to have a good career in skating, it's Cookie. He's put in his work. Love that boneless. He's wearing the Reynolds New Balances, isn't he? Oh no, he's not. He's wearing a different pair. I don't see anyone wearing those Reynolds New Balances. When they came out, I thought for sure it was going to be crazy. Everyone's going to be wearing them all the time. I really wanted to try a pair, but they were just out of my budget for the time that they came out and how often I was skating too. They came out like right before the summer, and here in the desert, it's just like unbearably hot, and skating isn't really an option. So I wasn't going to be getting the shoes. Ooh, little backside nose grind stall to manual, little blunt. I guess this footage is just hanging out at church side. That was sick. That's why I like Cookie. Things like that look effortless. I wonder what she's saying. I hope she's saying, I love skateboarding. You should keep doing it. It's so great. So we're just seeing a lot of backside nose grind kickflips. Seems like a bit of a perfectionist, which is totally fair. This spot looks great. It looks like it's coastal. Oh, you know what this is? This was a DIY. I think this is near, I want to say somewhere near San Diego. There used to be on the back side of this. Let me pause it. On the back side of this, where we are right here, this brown building. This was all part of like a DIY that eventually got torn down at some point. And it looks like they built it back up. But this wall over here that this guy is looking at used to be all like a pretty big time in place. crutches, skating, always good when you're in recovery from big injuries. You should definitely always go skating. It's a great way to ensure that you'll skate when you're like 50 or walk. Great way to walk your knee out. I keep hoping for like a huge part from Milton, something new. Cool. That was great. And what can I say? It was just kind of like vloggy type stuff, which I can't knock it. I mean, I do that too. All right, we got Ace Trucks up next. This is Ace Trucks Familia. Um, I've been riding Aces for probably close to 6 years now, maybe a little bit longer. I just recently switched over to Slappies, just because I wanted to give them a shot, and I like the inverted kingpin. So I've got like a video I'm working on of like first impressions of the Slappies. I already put a harder bushing barrel in it because us big guys, we be crushing the bushings. You know, we just can't handle it. Regular bushings just don't work. All right, here we go. Little roll on grind. Ooh, dang, slam dunk. Looked like he hit his tailbone right on that curve. That sucks. Looks like he's riding a bit of an egg shape. Dang, that spot looks really fun. I'm not saying it looks fun like I could do it, but it looks like a fun spot. So does that one. Good gracious. Man, that's not the rail you want to chicken out on, as you can tell. Nose blunt, crazy mohawk. That was sick. I never rocked a mohawk. Never had one. Always wanted to. Just always opted for like long hair until all my long hair was gone hair. Nice Smith grind. Anyone out there riding aces? They're probably my favorite truck in terms of feel. Um, but I have to say, I've been on the Slappies twice now, and those feel really good. Gap to 5.0 on that is pretty sick. This guy's kind of tapping the grinds a little bit. No slide, full wall ride. You know who had a mohawk like this? Frank Brewer had a mohawk for a while. He'd show up in videos. I always thought it was pretty cool. Frank's sick, great skater. That looks cool. I like when there's a ledge on the inside like that on something like that was kind of crazy. 5.0 360 pop shove. I guess maybe just a shove. Gap in. He's going in. Little nollie backside 360. Ooh, maybe an ollie impossible. Yep. I grew up in San Jose. This looks like downtown San Jose, but I know it's not. Nice kickflip. That was cool on that rail. Smith pop out. So far, a pretty great part. Nice. That's rad. You know, I like parts like this because it looks like stuff that would be really fun to skate. It's like not like you know, something you have to get super psyched on for so long to figure it out. Like, these spots look fun. Like even if you were at my level where you're like, you know, a bit older, you're not as good as you used to be, you could still have fun on a few of these spots. Looks like he's riding a toy machine board. Now, when I say spots, some spots, I'm not including this one. It's not included. That was pretty crazy. I've gotten smoked on those bank to drops like that. That was rad. Cool little part. Just feeling it. He saw some aces, slapped some curbs. Pretty sick. All right, we got one last video. I'm probably going to be fast forwarding through some of it just because we've been going. I mean, we're at what, 35 minutes? We're killing it right now. We have 007, Bobby, Kevin, Chris, and Quell. This was something I've wanted to watch for quite a while, actually. I just kept putting it off because I wanted to watch it with you guys. Oh, what's up? What's up, Dave? Thanks for dropping in and saying hi. I've wanted to watch this for a while. Um, Bobby Worst has always been like one of my favorites. I feel like he does get a lot of people like really like watching him and like really respect him, but I don't think he gets enough. He's just he's just good, man. He's just so good at skating. And Pulowski, he's always at Pulowski Park in DC, and it's just really great. Speak of the devil. Oh, he's gonna start it right off. That's sick. This is why I like Bobby. He skate like again, he skates stuff that looks fun. Little switch 360 flip. I think he has the best switch 360 flip right now. The kickflip tail slide. Oh, Bobby, I've tried ventures so many times. I just can't do it. They just widen out my wheelbase way too long for me. It just feels like I have a real hard time getting things flipping. Man, that was cool as a mirror line. Bobby skates cool spots, you know, like spots you'd skate at, like you'd see as a kid and be like, I wonder if that's something. Oh, we got some mattresses in the park. Switch heel manual, Pulowski seat. Told you. He's always skating Pulaski Park. Oh, switch flip back tail. So he's skating the low top blazers, which I think should be his shoe. You know, I was saying Mason Silva skates the mid and high top blazers. That should be his. The low top blazers should be Bobby's. Um, he's just got it. Man, Dennis is everywhere lately, huh? He was just in the real video. I wonder what made him show up for this. He's kind of like got a like huff thing going on a little bit, which is pretty sick. Oh, we just got a little bit of friend section. Mark Gonzalez is late 50s, so any of you who are having trouble getting out and skating, me included, just keep that in mind. Um, we got to do better. Hey, Levi, what's up? You got to switch frontside flip up to 3, nollie back tail. That spot looks fun. Cab flip up. That looked really great. This is what I was talking about with Bobby. You just figured it out. Back tail, frontside 180. Man, I got to work on my 360 flips. He looks good in the low top blazer. That Nike check looks sick. Some people could pull it off without looking like they're like, I don't know, corporate knuckleheads. Other people can't. That nollie crook was great. He skates a lot of quick spots like this. This looks fun. I would definitely get clotheslined by one of those benches. It wouldn't happen for me. Switch the back tail over the grate. Rad. Bobby never disappoints. Frontside flip. I think it's also like the architecture he's skating in. And right as I say that, this shows up, right? In Chicago. Just because like, he's skating in cities so much, so everything looks like really compact and tight. So like you really get a sense of like that you have to like really think about how you're gonna skate it. That was a rad spot. And you have to get innovative on like what you can skate, like that frontside 180, frontside flip 180 nose grind, frontside 180, frontside flip nose grind, because we have frontside flip nose grind and then back down into the bank. I haven't seen this guy skate, so this will be cool. So far, this video is great. Like, You know, I don't like a lot of fluff in my videos. I don't like a lot of like talking. I just want to see some cool skating. And I'm a big city guy. Like I love city spots. Nolly No Slide. We're in Philadelphia right now. He's wearing some vulcanized half cabs. Not really sure. The overcrook, nollie flip. That was cool. I like stuff like that too. Yeah, Philly skating. I don't know, man. I hope the city figures it out because I don't think skateboarding. It's like New York skating and Philly skating. You just like it's ubiquitous. It just like no matter what you do, it's gonna look good because the spots are crusty and they're just like they look exciting to skate. That front side crooked grind to fakie into the bank is rad. Back lip. That was cool. Over the top to nose grind or overcrook. I'm cool with either. It doesn't really bother me. Half cab, crooked grind. Oh, he's riding alien board. That's cool. I don't know much about alien nowadays, but I'm happy to see the alien logo still around. I wanted to pick up that Thrasher sweatshirt with the alien logo on it, but once again, it's the desert. And I'm wearing a sweatshirt today, but I guarantee you for the rest of my time here, I won't be wearing a sweatshirt. Back nose grind 180. A lot of these guys got a good half cab flip, which is great to see. That's always been one of my favorite tricks. For some reason, half cab flip and caballero flip for me just seem to float off my foot really well. So as someone who's a big proponent of like half cab flips and lines, because I can do them, it's cool to see other people do them. Frontside big spin. This is a very East Coast thing, skating that the cellar door. That one was crazy because of the lock. That fakey nose grind was rad. Switch backside 5-0. Look at all those fall leaves. Joey O'Brien's sick. Everyone should look up Joey O'Brien and watch some more of his skating. The dude's rad. That was cool. I'm a big fan of backside flip nose grinds. Not so much a big fan of this guy because he's everywhere right now. Used to like him. Half cab crook. That was a cool line because he kind of switched it up a little bit. Kickflip 5-0. I'll kickflip that. I have a couple pairs of half cabs in my closet that I haven't skated. That was cool. I also am a big fan of that trick. Like over something into a back lip. Reynolds did a really good one over a fire hydrant to lip slide. I forget what video. Again, the alien logo. The alien logo, you just can't beat it. It looks so good. Nollie heel front nose. I was just talking to my buddy about that trick. Danny Montoya does one in One Step Beyond. That was really good. I think it was the first time I'd ever seen the Nollie heel front nose. Isn't it the guy on Ventures, man? I don't know. Maybe maybe it's because of where I skate. Because like here in California, a lot of spots, like especially out in the desert and like in the outskirts of LA where I was skating before, and in San Francisco, like stuff gets really crusty. So it feels like you have to move really quick, like you have to be able to turn fast. And I just couldn't get it with the Ventures. It just feels like they're just not snappy enough for me. Dang. This is like so lame. It's almost hard to watch. Well, I guess it is hard to watch. Kevin Bellew is really cool. You should go watch some of his stuff. Brian O'Dwyer. This whole crew is just good at skating and really just rad. I hope people took those blocks. Like Kalis, he went and took all the like Love Park blocks. I hope someone did that with those. too bad they're tearing it out. I would, I haven't skated a pair of DCs since I was a kid, but if they released a navy Lynx, I'm always claiming everyone's got to get a navy shoe. I want a navy Lynx, navy with a white DC logo, white sole. Um, I would buy them immediately. Like that would be the DC shoe that would get me back into it. I don't know what the current state of affairs at DC is, so don't come after me if they're like terrible because that's how sometimes people are. How these companies are. That noseblunt was sick, especially because of the snow. Heel flip. Got some big pushes. The spot looks fun in the snow. Ooh, there it is. I love a good noseblunt. And switch backside 5-0. I've said it. I'll keep saying it. Switch backside 5-0. Frontside 180 out the hard way. Always looks good. Always looks good in the line. Back the way nose grind, same thing. Especially to regular. I think because both those tricks look like they like take a lot of control, Sick little camera with the hard drive attachment. A nice front side wall. Got some bike rack stuff. We used to do that back in the day. Got a little front side feeble 180. Everyone's getting a little crazy on the handrail or like rail. A lot of these guys you look at like you'd almost can see Anthony Papalardo like 25 years ago in IE, or the Habitat videos. Like they've like kind of like modeled their look right after those guys, which is sick. Yeah, I agree. Be hard, I agree. The nose blunt was rad. Chris Brown's another one I haven't seen. That sweatshirt's sick. As a grown man, I can't pull it off. The skulls. I'm just not that upset anymore. It's cool seeing these shell toes right now because we were watching virtual earlier and they were skating those in there. And Colin McKay had some shell toes on in that. Brad kickflip. I've only been to Philadelphia one time, skated a little bit. It looks like one hell of a place to grow up being a skateboarder. It looks so fun. I think it's time, with Love and what is this? This is like the metro station, right? Or Muni, something like that. Two really cool windows of time that Philadelphia skateboarding had. That was a rad trick. Backside wing, nose grind, switch heel. I'm always a fan of that trick too. As someone who can kickflip back tail, I've never been able to kickflip back tail shove. I have a real hard time with tricks out of things. For some reason, I just can't get tricks out. I've always wanted to do like a nice nose slide kickflip. That's tough. Man, he holds onto those backside when he nose grinds so well. Looks really good too. Hey, fakie hard. Nice nose slide. Nollie backside heel, probably one of my favorite tricks. I'd put it in my top three. Top three good looking tricks. Nollie heel nose. This is a great video. This might be my favorite video. I don't know if I've watched this year, but so far I'd put this in my top three for the year. I should probably do some sort of like skater of the year, video of the year stream or something, like some sort of video like that. Just because I watch so many skate videos, it's just like constant, right? And I forget them. I need to like write down like which ones are really good. So far, this one's sick. I'd put this in my top three, right next to Baker. Baker has a Death Wish 2. Put that in the top three. Can't think of anything else. I'm not a fan of the big shoe company videos. I don't doesn't feel like they're doing anything for me lately. 360 flip nose manual on the street was cool. Nice big flip. Man, I at one point had a really good fakie 180 heel, and I don't know. I think I'm just too fat now. If you got a tummy, you're not going to get that thing up there. Oh, cool. Heel flip nose manual is a great looking trick. See, this is what I'm talking about. You see these spots? Like these are not spots that you would be able to like sit and think about what you're going to do for a long time, you know? Like you kind of have to put something together really quickly because otherwise it's just not going to work out. And that's what I think I really like about this video is because it's in a city, it feels like you really just have to be actually really good at skating. You know, you won't get a million tries. There it is, switch heel nose manual. Love that. It's reminiscent of alien videos. My sleep is catch on tree. If you don't know, we have a puppy in the house now. He wakes me up a couple times a night, need to go out. Ooh, nice backside 180. And they knew it. They knew it. It was a nice one. They knew it. I knew it. You knew it. Backside way bump to bar. Cruise in the crusty streets. What trucks is he? What trucks is he riding? That was cool. That was really cool. Ollie over the bike rack or barricade. The 50-50. That was a cool one. Ooh, the 5-0. Nice. I remember I used to get dunks, um, 2003, 2004, somewhere in there, at Nordstrom Rack. And this is before they were SBs. Um, give like $20. Get them so cheap. Skate them for a few weeks, toss them. FTP. I don't know if Antoine's involved in that anymore, but Antoine Dixon was like heavily involved with FTP for a while. We need some more Antoine Dixon footage. You know, since he's not connected so much to like Baker and stuff anymore, I'm afraid that his like footage is going to come out looking something like a Chris Jocelyn part, like the whole thing was filmed on a GoPro or something. It's not a knock on Chris Jocelyn, just the cameras used. Big heel flip. That was rad. That's probably the ender for his part. It was a really big heel. This dude was sick. That's the end of that video. Man, that was a great one. I'm into this video. 007. Untitled 007. This is a great one. All right, gang. I guess maybe let's just like piece together a little bit of virtual since we're almost through it. We'll just round out there. We've been streaming for about an hour. Round it out. Rodney loves his mom. Who is this? Who we got here? Is this LeVar McBride? Can't be. Oh, it is because it's our friends. No wonder I thought it was LeVar. Is it LeVar? Or is it... Oh, it's Jerron. I knew it was one of them. Cool, little Jerron too. I'm not so much a big fan of the Nine Club these days anymore. I still like them. Um, I just think a lot of the guests I haven't really been into lately, but Jerron's always been sick, and he's been around a lot longer than people give him credit for. That was crazy. He looked like he had his toes way up on top. There's that switch manual heel flip. Got that little hubba. I would, if I could take a time machine, there's a lot of things I would do, but one of them would actually go back and skate that little hubba. That thing looked so much fun. Ronnie Bertino. If you don't know Ronnie Bertino, look him up, watch some of his parts. He's rad. Um, I don't know what he's doing now, but when I was starting to skate, Ronnie Bertino is one of my favorites. Switch backside three. Got some Brian Lottie footage. So Brian Lottie was on the Nine Club, I think, in the last 2 weeks. Lottie's sick. You should definitely look him up. Him and Ocean Howell. But Brian Lottie kind of faded out pretty quickly. He wasn't around by the mid 90s. That nose slide pop over to fake music. Tim Gavin, another great one. I was thinking we should do a rewatch of Tim and Henry's Pack of Lies. Another great spot. I love seeing this spot, even though it's all curbs. I'd be really happy to skate it. I think this is like it's a 93, but this is like the era that defined kind of like what clothes I like. These like washed jeans, a lot of white laces on black shoes. I mean, it's true what they say when you like are a kid, like what you see and what you grow up with ends up being the thing that you gravitate towards. You know, luckily, I gravitate more towards like the skating and stuff, and not like the horrible like mindsets a lot of these guys, a lot of the older generations had about things. No slide kickflip on that little tiny handrail at SF State's crazy. Got another ad for a video I'm not going to watch. What video is this? Oh, it's just a tactics ad. It's cool. We don't need tactics in our lives. Hey, Rick Howard. I was just talking about him. That means we're at Mike Carroll's park. Mike Carroll, he's been back on Instagram lately. That's been kind of cool. This is when they were young, tiny guys. Switch heel, or not, sorry, that's just a heel flip. Mike Carroll's always had such a great frontside flip. Man, those guys running around in the van, nollie inward heel. That little like bump is so popular. Switch flip manual on the Casper slide spot. If I was in San Francisco, I would go see that new Jacob Rosenberg thing, Epicenter. They're doing about EMB. Really cool. Switch back 180 up. This spot is always fun to see because they were just doing spots up the three stair. I wonder what it was connected to. Let's see where he goes. Looks like a mall. Switch ollie in. This bank is crazy. I don't know if you know anything about this bank, but it was like this steep. So anything you see on it is kind of crazy. Oh, speaking of EMB, here we go. I used to take the train out to San Francisco. I got to skate this before they remodeled it, but not much. Just barely scratched it. But after the remodel, I was there quite often. 360 flip nose slide. Mike kind of killed this place. It was kind of his spot. Everyone gives it to James Kelch, but I think Mike has it. Chico as well. Half cab flip nose slide. A switch backside flip. This ledge is just so crazy because it just runs right into that wall. If I remember correctly, in old interviews and stuff, Mike Carroll talks about how they didn't even like really have wax. They would just kind of like use their like soda cups because of the wax on top of it. So like they had to go super fast. That's why you see them like pushing so hard. Mike Carroll's one of the only people that you can give like the free switch mongo. Him, Eric Costin. Mike Carroll was my favorite skater for a long time, but Mark Johnson took that spot, and then when they had that fallout, I was kind of over him in general. I like old Mike Carroll though. Sick stuff. That spot's been in skating for a long time. Jerry Sue skated that in Bag of Sack. Nollie backside 180 heel. Probably the best nollie backside 180 healer. Would either be Jerry or Mark. Can't think of anyone else who has a better nollie back heel. Excuse me while I drink some water. Ooh, back lip on the gold rail. That's sick. We had Mike Carroll. I wonder who's next. This video is kind of stacked. I don't think we're going to make it this whole thing. I don't know if I have the desire to watch all of it. We might have to just pick up where we left off. Who's next? Rick Howard. All right, let's do this. Let's end this stream on a great note. We're going to watch Rick Howard's part. Jaquan gap to frontside nose. That's rad. Here's that Vancouver spot I was talking about in Canada. If I could skate this today, I would. It just looks so fun. If I remember correctly, someone did like a little interview about that spot. I forget what it was. Maybe it was one of Ted Barrow's like this old ledge spots. They did that there. Back heel nose bun sick. Ooh, look at that. Way early on that one. Nollie backside 180 the hard way. Man, Rick had such smooth style. Everything looks effortless. Like that. He killed that spot. Looks so good. Switch frontside flip. We got what? Backside heel. Ollie backside flip. Fakey backside flip. Harp flip, kick flip. That switch flip was cool. Very floaty. If I remember correctly, that is from a Big Brother cover they did. We got switch flip back tail on the quarter pipe at the World Park. This spot is heavily in this video. Ooh, switch 360 flip no slide sick. Rick Howard might have my favorite nollie backside flip because it looks like he doesn't even have to try. Look at that bank. Crazy. Switch 360 flip on that thing is nuts. Orange shirt is rad. I'm a big fan of yellow and orange shirts, especially yellow. For some reason, I like yellow shirts. It's got a good 360 flip. It's one of the ones that's not all like stinky leg. Everyone's always talking about the back foot doing all the power, but honestly, people who flick it with the front foot, it looks better. It just looks more controllable. Looks like intentional rather than like trash. It's a back foot 360 flip. To me, it feels like it's like it because the look of it looks like it happens so simply. It feels so simple. What is this ad? Is this a Jenko ad? My God, we've actually gone back in time. I had Jenko jeans when I was 12. We're not showing the jeans anymore, though. He's just driving. So we're going to skip it. Because who cares? I was interested when they were showing the jeans. I'm not interested when they're showing the car. Was that Retta? This is I still like dressing like this. Long sleeve, like button ups with the baggy pants. I don't have either of them. Is this Pat Duffy? Is this like a slam section? It is. Oh my God. The older you get, the worse these slams look. These are slams you can only endure when you're like 20 years old. Because now this would just cripple me. I'd be done. Dang. Ooh, 360 the Gons Gap. I wonder if he ever landed that. I don't think I've seen any footage of it. 360 of the Gons Gap. He's so close. Jeez. All right. These these slams are gonna make me need another cup of coffee. That was a cool one. Are we in someone's part now? So what happened? Missed the intro. Oh, here we go. Pat Duffy. All right, I'll take it back. We'll end it on Pat Duffy. 360 flip nose blunt. I don't remember if he actually lands that. Whoa. Jeez. Getting risque. Getting a little risque on the stream. Nose blunt. I mean, even now that nose blunt's cool. It still looks good. I don't particularly know what Pat Duffy is up to nowadays, but in virtual reality, he was killing it. Varial flip nose slide's crazy. And I think it was switch, which makes it even crazier. Nice frontside flip. We're at San Diego, skating the big double set. But he's skating the smaller side, the single set. Man, these guys in ollie flips are like just barely coming off the ground. Oh, this is cool. I've never seen someone skate it like that. Well, I guess I have because I've seen this video, but I didn't recall that they did that. Man, they do this so long. Switch big flip. Pat Duffy was good, man. He was really good at skating. He deserves a better place in skating, I think. About this time, 93, I think I had just got my first like real setup that wasn't a hand-me-down from a neighbor or something. My uncle, he helped me order a CCS complete. So I want to say it was about this time. 93, I would have been 11. No, I would have been 9. There's a sick backside 180 nose grind. 360 flip slide. I mean, come on. Double flip, backside flip, double switch, double flip, backside flip, cab flip, switch frontside flip. Pat Duffy is on fire. This is crazy. Cab, backside tail. World Park's always cool to see, and this is pre-graffiti. Kickflip nose slide was rad. Guy Mariano killed that handrail. Brian Anderson skated that spot. They like that little thing. Look how small that is. Hell, I'd like that little thing. I'd skate it now. Hubba. Hey, Hubba. Kickflip nose slide. Crazy. In 93, kickflip nose slide Hubba is huge. This lip slide is ridiculous too. Still to this day, I think that lip slide is crazy. Rick Howard front nose slid that. Cool looking handrail. I don't know where it is. I'm sure it's in LA somewhere. What a perfect 180 nose grind. Crazy. We're going to end it with Pat Duffy. Unless someone else comes up that's like, can't miss. We can skip to anyway. I'm not a big fan. You get a last part. It's all good. Hey, Jacob Rosenberg. You should take a look at Epicenter. If you're in San Francisco or in the Bay Area, Epicenter, a bunch of photographs and video clips from EMB, produced by Jacob Rosenberg. It's going to be a book too. I'm not shilling it. I have no connection to it other than I just think it would be really cool if I was in the area. I would absolutely go. The girl exhibit was cool. It's reminiscent of that. It's got a lot of history in it. So, hey, Mike Carroll, Union Square. Hey, everybody. It's been wild. We've been on for about an hour and 10 minutes. I'm tired. It's Saturday. We got company coming. My coffee is empty. It needs to be filled. Can't even believe it's empty. I'm normally coffee in hand all the time. Thanks for coming out. Next Saturday, I'll be back. Every Saturday we watch videos. Come in, hit the comments. If you want to see a video, reach out to me and let me know. Um, all that good stuff. While you're out there, be good to yourself. Love your pets. Love your family. Life is short. Have some fun. And we'll see you later. Be good to everyone. Until next time. Later, Dave.